Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Oh my, I am tired today. I think we all go through those things, right? Some days full of energy, other days like, I just want to take a nap. I'm at that one today. I just want to take a nap, as in I want to wake up tomorrow. So that's where that goes. Like, I was talking to my husband, like, what am I talking about? He said, just go on and tell everyone you're tired and go to sleep. Like, well, that's no fun to watch. But I did get something done, and I think you probably know what it is. I finished both booties. After doing yesterday's video, aren't those adorable? Those are so cute. Oh my gosh, those are just the sweetest things. So after yesterday's video, I had to finish that. I had psyched myself up. I started yesterday's video of, I don't want to do it, I don't like booties. That's not to say I like booties. I mean, I love them, they're gorgeous, but making them, right? You know, and I psyched myself up and I got myself so ready to it. I went to bed so late yesterday because of that. I added some pictures in the video when I was making it. I didn't have all that stuff done on the booties. I didn't get them both done yesterday, but I didn't have all that stuff done. So I was doing a little bit more, because I wanted to insert some pictures to show that I was going to finish them, show that I was going to make it. Now, all I need to do is add the little buttons here. And guess what? I have the perfect little buttons. And I did just check it out. Let's see. Okay, it fit on one of them. Let's see if it fits on the other one. There, look at that. So it does fit. That's going to be so cute. I just have to sew on the little light green buttons onto the booties, and this pair will be done. That's pretty cool. And that'll be my first thing done for the week, which is really exciting. Because, truthfully, today I didn't think I'd touch anything. I didn't think I'd get into anything. I figured this would be about the most. It's like, I'm going to cuddle with the things that I made, and that's all that's going on. But, sometimes we just have that. We're a little bit more tired than others. Not a big deal. Totally thrilled to have gotten some progress done. Totally thrilled to have gotten something finished and that I can be proud of. Now, the thing is, I have no idea if these are going to fit the grandbaby. I meant to ask earlier to text my daughter-in-law and say, hey, can you measure the baby's feet? I'm really hoping these fit after throwing my own little hissy fit, right? And making them, I hope that they fit, because otherwise I'm gonna have to make another pair. Although I think I might make some socks next, maybe some little socks or something like that. And then it was reminded to me that I need to make more baby boy things. Yeah, I know. I'm having so much fun making lots and lots of things. But I do remember they all got handmade something at Christmas. Everybody got something handmade at Christmas. So it's not like they're lacking as far as that's concerned. And then when they were over last time, yeah, I was able to hand out a couple sweaters. So they're not lacking. That's a good way to put it. They're all getting some stuff. They're all getting some love and everything. And then I'm looking at this and obviously just making this, and I'm like, oh wait, I have my little lovey that I'm working on. I got a little farther on that too. I need to finish off doing some of the amigurumi pieces, and now I'm in the danger zone. Okay, for me, I'm in the danger zone. Does that mean the pattern's hard? No. Does that mean I just can't do it? No, not at all. Does that mean that it's an amigurumi that's been taking me more than 2 weeks? Yes. And what does that mean? Chances are it might not get done. So I'm going to have to, not tonight, not tonight. I'm not going to put myself up for that. But I'm going to have to just kind of sit down, and maybe tomorrow after I get off from work, I'll sit down and work on some of those pieces. I do have all the legs and the head. I think I just have one big face piece because it's a hippopotamus. Yeah, and then 4 small pieces and then sew it all together. Oh, that's not much. Oh my gosh, I gutted through the booties. I can do that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I could get 2 things done this week. It's not there yet. I could. It's close. I mean, it's not like the blankets that I have going on or all the big things. I've noticed I have a lot of really large things at the moment. A lot of sweaters, 2 blankets using fingering weight yarn. because, you know, one blanket using fingering weight yarn was not insanity enough. I had to make it into 2 blankets. Yeah, that's okay. It's fun. It's beautiful. And I'm going to have fun with all of the wonderful things that come along with that. I don't know. That's how that works. What have you got going on in your world? I've got lots of plans, and I think if my plans come into fruition, here's some ideas. Here's some ideas that I've had. You tell me if this is something that's semi-interesting. I've had the idea of I've got a pair of socks that need to be put on knitting needles. These were, you know, really vintage socks that I started, you know, like close to 18 years ago. And I need to put that on needles. I haven't done that yet. I was thinking about filming that, either doing a live while doing that or doing something like this. But I just have to get that set up to where you can see my hands and picking up all the stitches and showing that it's not that hard. It's not something to be afraid of. And if you miss it a little bit, that's okay. You might have to drop down a bit and pick those stitches back up. It's okay. Just kind of a, it's not so scary kind of an episode. So I was thinking that that might be an interesting thing to work with. I was also looking at, I know, man, speaking of vintage projects, I know I've got that shawl that I'm working on, those 2 long scarves that I started forever ago, way before I had the channel. And it needs to have beads on the bind off. And I was thinking when I got to that point, it might be an option to be on camera again, showing the hands. Ooh, the hands, trying to actually put those beads on that thread, you know, the lace, right? Those little tiny seed beads. And I don't know if that would show up too well on the camera. That doesn't show up too well in life, you know? Those are tiny. But doing something like that, or possibly if I get past that and everything, the blocking part of how do I block it? I did just get some new blocking wires. When we moved into this house 3 years ago, I remember packing them. I really do. But there is a box that I cannot find. And it's not a big deal. But yeah, it's been 3 years since I've seen my blocking wires, and there's some of the yarn that I remember packing that I don't have. And you're like, how could you tell? I know my yarn. Okay, I know. But it's not a big deal. So I was able to go with a friend of mine, and on the 25th of the month for one of the local yarn stores, it's the Christmas Club. So every month on the 25th, we all get together and we knit and we crochet and working on our Christmas things. So I just got to go to that the other day, and it was so enjoyable because I'm looking around, and I did pick up some more stitch markers, love them. And I was looking at all the accessories and accoutrements and stuff and dreaming about my next project. And, you know, I didn't have the urge to pounce on more yarn because I might have purchased a bunch at the whole Joann going out of business sale. You've heard of that, right? You know, the whole Joann thing and the panic buying? Yeah, of course we have. So I don't have a need to purchase more yarn today. Yeah. That doesn't mean anything about tomorrow, next week. Let's not get carried away. So nothing really jumped out at me that I had to take home that day, but I did want some more stitch markers, and the kind that I got I really enjoy. And as I'm looking around, I see these tubes. Oh my gosh. And I was able to get the blocking wires, and they had different choices. They had the lace blocking wires, and then they had some for worsted weight. And I'm like, I just had blocking wires before. We have choices. And I believe that the choices are, or just all worsted, or like a half and half. You know, you had so many, they're 3 feet long, like thin pieces of metal is what it is. And I think with the lace one, you can pin that out because they're so fine and so thin into a curve. If you're doing a crescent shawl, it's not always just the hard lines, whereas the worsted weight is a thicker metal, and you're going to get that harder lines. Do I have those in here? Where did I put those? Oh, they're downstairs. Yeah, so I've got that. So I was really excited because I know when I get to that point of that shawl, I was already thinking about how do I block that. And that might, you know, it might be interesting to see how that's done, you know, filming that piece, and didn't know if that would be something that you guys might think is interesting. I mean, it's either like watching, you know, paint dry, or we could learn something. I don't know, you know. Do you know how to block things? Have you blocked things before? Has somebody showed you how, or you're like, can't be that hard? And that's pretty much my attitude. Can't be that hard. I've blocked things in the past, and I didn't have blocking wires for the longest time. They make a great difference depending what you're making. They really do. You know, I mean, the whole thing is get wet, stretch, pin, ignore, right? You know, and part of it is, do you have a space large enough depending on what it is you're trying to block? You know, and then I've got my blocking board where I do these things. This is my crocheted squares for one of my fingering weight blankets, you know, because that's what I want is fingering weight blankets. And this was, I just soaked the squares, you know, I do batches of them in water and let the fibers just really suck up all that water and relax in it and everything. Then I pull them out and I towel dry it, you know, kind of roll it up in a towel to get some of the excess moisture off of it. And then I pinned it out on that blocking board and then ignored it for a couple of days. Did I need to ignore it for a couple of days? No, but I didn't need my blocking board right then. So just walk away and look how cool that is. Blocking is amazing with what it does to your projects and everything. Do I block everything? No. Some things definitely, like the little squares, I'm doing that. People talk about blocking hats. I don't block hats generally. Now, if you wanted a beret style hat, the blocking will help it to keep that beret shape. But, you know, in general, I don't do that. In general, I don't necessarily like wet my socks to block them just because. Now, I do have the hangers that they can be hung up on after they've washed. It'll help them to dry, and then it'll help them to keep that particular shape. But I don't generally go out of my way to do that particular task either. But yeah, something's really huge difference. And then there's some things too, if you're going to sew pieces together, blocking it helps immensely. You block it into the shape that it's supposed to be, you know, especially if you're piecing together. Do I have that over here? Yeah, I wasn't going to say much, and now I'm not shutting up. So this is another thing that I have to piece together. And I have, I didn't do a wet block on this, but I did, you know, pin it on everything for a little bit. So it's kind of curly, but it's not like what it would be for just typical acrylic. And what that's going to do, it's going to help those edges to be a little bit easier to work with. So when I go to sew this together to my other pieces, they'll all be uniform. It'll be easy for me to see row to row when I'm sewing them and try to get a better edge, better seam. I'm still learning on all that stuff too. I think we're all still learning on different tasks or picking up different tips and tricks. I know when you sew something together like that, which I haven't done yet, as you can tell, it's in pieces, there are a lot of different seam types that you can do. I know in the past, it's for speed, laziness, lack of confidence, I would just crochet the seam together, whether it was a knit piece or a crochet piece, right? I would crochet that together. I'm like, I'm not getting out the sewing needle and everything and sewing it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to end up with a larger seam, and that can be felt, and it makes a difference on whatever your project is, on do you want that seam or not. Like the mattress stitch is more of an invisible seam, and I've learned how to do, I've seen a lot of tutorials. They're amazing. It's like magic. It's like, ooh, how'd you do that? It looks so easy. And I've had some success with it. I have. Am I as good as what the tutorials are? Or you see the little videos? No, I'm not. But when you block the piece, it makes it a little bit easier to do that. It makes it easier to do the finishing stuff. All that to say, I'm improving on my craft. The past me would say, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to get my crochet hook out and crochet that together, and it's going to be done. It's going to be done fast, right? Because, I mean, how hard is it to crochet a seam? A single crochet? I can do single crochet. We got this, right? You know, if I wanted a little bit smaller, I could slip stitch the two together, right? But it is going to create a bulkier seam. And, you know, and then the other part too, for construction purposes, sometimes you want that harder seam, like up on the shoulders, because they have all the weight of the fabric, depending on what you made your garment with. And that's why you'll have things for knitting. It'll be a 3-needle bind off that's going to give you that stronger, harder grafted, as opposed to a Kitchener bind off, or a Kitchener with the front and the back. That's going to be similar to taking those two pieces and slip stitching them together, or single crocheting, because it's going to give it a firmer, more structural seam that'll hold that weight. So there's lots of different reasons to do different things, and I'm kind of learning some of those as I go and going, oh, now it clicks. And part of it is I didn't have the speed in the past. I mean, I'm not the fastest. I think I'm fast at doing a lot of the crafts. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the slowest. But I think, you know, overall, I'm pretty quick. But I didn't always have that speed. And things would take a long time to do. And once you got to a certain point, you're like, I don't want to put more time into it. I don't, or especially fixing mistakes. I don't want to pull it out. You know how long it took me to make that, whatever that is? I don't want to do that. So it's the not willing to pull back and deal with the so-called mistakes. But this whole year, I've decided that I'm good with failure. And that doesn't mean I want to be a failure, but I'm good with going out on a limb and trying something. And if it works out, great, hallelujah, we did it. And if it doesn't, i.e. a failure, that's okay. I learned something. I learned that that technique doesn't work for me, or I didn't do it correctly, or whatever it is. It's a life lesson. So I'm willing to put myself out there in that aspect, and I'm willing to take on the failures with open-armed. I can do this. I can, you know, it's not everything's going to work out perfectly. Not everything's going to be beautiful. Like, I was moving some things around in here, and some of you may or may not remember this hat that I was working on, probably November, December timeframe. I started this yarn. It's a Knit Picks yarn. I don't remember which one it is. It's got all sorts of fancy fibers and everything in it, and it looked really interesting on the web. And this is my second hat making with this. I don't like it. That's why it's not done. I didn't like the first stitch pattern I used. I don't like this stitch pattern. I don't like it. Well, I was trying to gut through it and finish it, but that's silly. I don't want to do it. I don't like the yarn. I mean, the yarn's fine. I just didn't come up with the right thing and the right use for said yarn. And I don't want it sitting around anymore. I don't want that hanging over. And well, I learned that that's just not the yarn I want to play with. But that's cool because I didn't get a bunch of it. I just got the one skein during, I think it was like Black Friday sales. So I just don't buy any more of it. And in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and pull that out. There, that just makes life so much nicer. Okay, I don't need to have this in a stack. And you know, if one of my friends decides that they want this yarn, they can have this yarn. I do not care because I don't want to play with it. I've tried 2 projects with it. I did get enough, like I said, I can make a hat with it, but I don't want to. I don't like the way it looks. It feels good, but I don't like the way it looks. Look at that. The color's not bad. It doesn't sing to me. And that's my second try. No. But it's okay. I did try. I reached out, I tried, and I tried twice. Cool. There you go. It gave me, no, it didn't. I was going to say, it gave me joy working on it the first time around. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. I'm not even going to tell that story. Nope. Because sometimes when I pull things out, you know, I enjoyed the project when I made it. Like this one needs to be pulled out too. This right here. There's nothing, well, okay. My color work's gotten better from when I first started this. The pattern's nice. The pattern's beautiful. It's an all over color work hat. I do remember that. Bunny Muff, something like that is the username. I'm remembering it up here. I don't have the pattern like exactly where it is, but I'm remembering up here. But I've gotten better than that, which is awesome. I mean, it doesn't show up as much on camera showing it, but it's not as nice as some of my later colorwork pieces. So if I were to try to finish that off, my my gauge is different. That's a definite. And my evenness, I've gotten a lot better and more even with my floats than what that is. So it would be a marked difference between the start of the hat and the finishing of the hat. So on that one, I'm going to pull that out too. But that one did give me joy at the time. I enjoyed working on it. I was out on a limb, learning something, trying to perfect that, honing my skills, if you want to call it that. Look at this. And so that one did give me joy, but I'm still going to pull it out. This, I tried twice. This feels kind of good. I'm not gonna lie. This feels kind of good. I'm like, whoo, we're cleaning stuff up. I'm cleaning it up. It's not, it has no hold on me. This, I tried twice. This has no hold. You don't own me. You don't own me. Well, this feels really good. Do you have things that need to be pulled out? You might want to go grab something. I'm just saying, it's kind of cathartic. I think that's, I was about ready to say lethargic, but that's definitely not the word. Kind of cathartic. Is that how you say it? Kind of good for you. Yeah. Relax, good for you, comforting. Am I using the right word? People who are better at English, maybe you know. I don't know. But, oh, this feels nice. This is good. Yeah, I don't want this yarn. You know what would be better, I think, with this one is if I wanted to do something like a cream color, I could see a cream color, and speaking of the color work, and make this the color work portion, the rest of the hat like cream, and then this was the pop of the colors, you know, like the bloom sweater that I'm working on, the flowers, or the bloom hat that I had, you know, this hat right here, doing that, all the color work with this, with a cream colored base. I think that would really be nice. That would be a good use of it, making it as a mixed fiber as opposed to just this standing on its own, or a different pattern. Just the patterns that I chose were not good with this, and I wanted to finish it just to finish it and give it away, but it was like punishment knitting, and I have no desire to do punishment knitting. You know, the stuff that you commit to, that you have to finish, you don't want to do it. Kind of like if you don't like your veggies, you know, you're being forced to eat your veggies. Like, ugh, I like veggies, so that's not really a punishment. But, you know, we're all different. But yeah, there we go. There. So I'm working on it. Snagging. It's not coming out the easiest. But there we have it. So, okay. This has been fun. This has been absolutely fun. I realize that this has gone away, and that's making me happy. I got the slippers done, and I found the buttons. I thought I had some. I knew I have some pink ones like that, the little package. And I was hoping I had some yellow ones, but then I came across the mint green ones, and it matches the mint green and the slipper very well. So I'm good. I don't have to go out shopping for any more. Those buttons will be fast and easy to sew on, you know, and they'll be ready to give. It's just stuff with polyfill, so you can see the pattern and the stitches and everything on that. But yeah, that's cool. Okay, that's success. Success. Yeah, this is not nice. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. No, it's going bye-bye. I tried so hard. I tried to love it. I'm like, what is this yarn? Let me play with it. It's a new one to me. No. But this is enjoyable. This is cool. It would be faster if I had put this on the ball winder to wind it, but then I wouldn't be sitting here talking with you, because my ball winder is over there, and there's stuff in the way between me and it. So there you go. Like the brown sweater, I did put that one on the ball winder. And there we have it. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I am so much lighter, so much happier having sat here and chatted with you guys, and having some realizations, and talking over some possible future plans with you. Let me know which ones sound fun and exciting to you, or if you have some other ideas, and we'll see if we can make that happen. And see if we can do it live. Yeah, I'd like to do another live. I haven't done a live in a while. I'm not sure when my last one was, but I'm sure it's been a while. We need to do that again. Just come on here and chat in real time. That would be enjoyable. So here we are. Look at that. That's it. Okay, that's success. I have 2 successes, right? And what was it somebody had said down below? That even if I'm pulling something out, it's still progressing because I've done something with it. So there you go. I have progressed into a warped ball of yarn, and I'm good with that. So that makes me happy on that. Okay, that's not in my way. That's not taking up space. Look at that. That's my carbons, my good ones, my Knit Picks carbons. I like these. I think it's Knitter's Pride, Knit Pro. It's all the same company. I think it goes under Knit Pro right now, but these are the carbons, and it's one of my favorites. I mean, you know, so good. I can put this back in my case and reuse them. I got some needles back. That is one of the advantages of going through and finding your older projects and either finishing them or ripping them out. Look, I don't have to go to the store. I just got a brand new set of needles. Okay, it's not really brand new, but it's brand new enough, right? I mean, they work. I got another set of needles off. I can put these back into good use. What size are these anyway? I think size 7s. So there you go. Here's my size 7s. Lovely. I have to go put those into use. Yeah. What should I start next? Oh, better yet, what should I finish next? That's the better question, isn't it? What should I finish next? What is the thing that you want me to finish the most out of all the things that you have seen me working on, starting on, procrastinating with? Because let's face it, there are things that get procrastinated on. Which is the thing that is the thing that you want me to do the most? It's not to say it'll get done next week, but you never know. It could. I mean, it could, right? It's just a little bit of stitching. Whether it's crochet or knitting, it's just a little stitching. We got this. We got this. All right, everybody. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.